Why, hello, you beautiful souls. How are you doing this Wednesday? I hope you're having a great day thus far and an amazing start to your solar new year. Now, I'm excited because we're getting ready for the full moon that's this Sunday. So don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell to get the notifications because our full moon assimilation and kind of just digesting all these lunar rays is going to be Sunday morning. So don't miss out. But tonight is all about diving deep into the emptiness within. Most importantly, it's all about letting go. So if you found yourself filled with tension, I know this is going to be a great one for you. Personally, I'm incredibly looking forward to it just to really decompress, unwind, and relax on this Water Fast Wednesday. So if you can get those last few wiggles out, adjust my headband, and we're going to get right into it. So when you hear those first three taps of the bell, allow yourself to take an inhalation with each sound of the ringing. With your exhale, transform it into a calm and gentle just like a big sigh of relief. Begin this process of relaxation by opening up the mouth. Relax the jaw as you chant out this divine chord. And begin to shift your attention to the silence after. Begin to sink deep within yourself as you observe the sound, the resonance, the vibrations of your own voice. And simply sink deeper into the calm and peace through your own listening. Marinate within yourself, and most importantly, fall in love with this process of letting go. If you haven't already, be sure to have a smile on your face as you chant out this chord of love and creation. Marinate in this moment of now with no thoughts of the past or the future, but simply being as you are. With this final tap of the bowl, allow yourself to fall deep within your heart. This true throne of the soul, the spirit, this sense of I am. As we allow the tension filled to become the tensionless. And as I lovingly invite you into this space of your own heart, we come to connect and tap into the peace that is but one of many attributes of our pureness. The biggest misconception of meditation, of this inner looking, is that there is a doing. The only action that takes place is the initial sitting or lying down. But everything else, as life already operates, happens magically on its own. Come to recognize that your goal, your only object of action, is to simply rest. Whatever position you're relaxing in, it matters not. The body itself will continue to operate. The heart shall continue to pump. The lungs and diaphragm shall continue their process of breathing. Life is in constant motion. Life is in constant change. But there's nothing more important than recognizing the stillness, the space of emptiness in which all resides. Recognize here that just like the void of space, that ocean of infinite nature brings home the realm of stars and planets and celestial bodies, but it can be described as nothing. So too your awareness, your sense of self, is the sky, the space of your inner environment. The thoughts, emotions, and physical sensations are always passing through it, temporary in nature. But to come in understanding of the emptiness, the stillness within us, is in truth coming to an understanding of what we are, the unchanging. It's recognizing this infinite expanse of consciousness that allows us to let go, that allows emotions to be expressed but not held on to, that allows the thoughts and imagination to swell up but to drop away. For when we hold on to anything temporary in our experience, it takes us away from the pureness and the bliss that is ever present in the space of our heart. When we allow the mind to run off with experiences, to transform the signals of emotions, and to be attached to any physical sensation themselves, puts tension within our own beingness. It constrains the expression of love in which we are. Sometimes we experience it as a radiating sensation from the chest, or the bubbly excitement in the gut, or the profound knowing that echoes throughout our bones. But even then, this knowing is observed from this place of emptiness. Look no further than the human eye. Your pupil itself is an open hole that light can travel through. And it's in this process that we can create an image in the brain. Come to recognize that your awareness, your sense of I am, this knowing of self, me, myself, and I, is an open window, a screen in which this cinema of life is played upon. It is the light itself that creates the image. Just as when you are not present for this experience, nothing happens. Put yourself in the position of being a newborn. It's in this very sense we come into a deeper understanding of letting go. See every action, reaction, and phenomena inside you and outside you as something new. but don't engage with it. Like the newborn, you can't talk, you can't move. You're simply present. This process of meditation serves as a digestion for the soul. It enables you to process experience. However, this only arises when we remain in this objective position, this distant observer. For when we hold on to the emotions, the thoughts, and any sensation, it instantly transforms to the subjective, the past, the expectation filled, the assumption filled. So remain as you are, effortless. One of many misconceptions of meditation is that the mind must cease being. But in truth, that is simply a byproduct of you shifting your attention to the most important focal point, yourself. Absent of form, absent of titles, but you, the awareness itself. And just as you sit with the intention of simply being and relaxing, you may observe that thoughts, emotions, and sensations still arise. But bring yourself back to that knowing that they're happening on their own. It has nothing to do with you, this conscious observer. Come to seek the understanding and truth that everything temporary in your experience is giving you the information necessary. The red flag, the neon light, the blaring sign that's telling you this isn't you. Thoughts that come at you, emotions that want to pull you away, are all observed, are all seen, felt, heard. And there is a distinction between the observer and that in which is observed. You are the sky itself, and everything else is but a passing cloud. Fall in love with that vast and infinite space, and naturally, you'll rise above the temporary natures of this human experience. Take a nice deep breath. And again, if you don't already, have a nice smile on your face. And as you exhale, drop away any tension that remains. Again, take a nice deep breath here. And if feeling tension filled, allow yourself to exhale fully with a nice sigh of relief, opening the mouth. Again, take one more deep breath here, filling your body up with as much air as possible, and simply letting the breath drop away. Fall in love with the calm. Fall in love with the stillness. It may appear boring to the mind and the imagination, but come to recognize the role of such things within your experience. The ego never dies until the body drops. There is no such thing as ego death, but a recognition, an awakening, and liberation to something previously believed in. For in truth, this ego, the mind and imagination itself, was our first friend. It pulls at our heartstrings in order to test our sincerity of what we know is truth within our experience. It seeks to distract us, especially in moments of vast importance, to see if we're truly caring about whatever it is we're experiencing. It's the ultimate test of love, for it is the first test of self-love. As the ego is your tether to this body, it is also what stores the pain in which you experience. Do not allow it to hold you back from letting go and healing, thus moving forward. Fall in love with your journey. Recognize everything as grace, and that will enable you to let go fully of the past, to learn, to grow. The emotions themselves are like our antenna, picking up the feedback of hearts of others. It serves as a compass guiding us to what we know doesn't resonate within our heart. And the sensations of form, they come and go depending on what we're attached and addicted towards. So assert your position. Recognize that everything in these threefold states, the gunas themselves, of dullness, passion, and goodness, are all observed from this space of I am, from this vast ocean of emptiness that lies within you. For the kingdom of heaven, the answers to the universe itself, and all of the cosmos lies within you. For you are an expression of life itself. And when we let go of the temporary, we awaken to the eternal within. We awaken as one of many. And it's this trust, this new experience that allows the heart to unfold fully. And just as this game of affection and attention continues, the more we shift our focus in, the more from life we receive. It's bringing ourselves back to this state of childhood experience and intimacy with life, being the perfect tensionless vessel for life to express itself through, knowing that everything that happens within it is intended to learn and serve as lessons to yourself and others, to grow, to heal, to bring unity and inclusion to all. For when we come to sink deeper into this understanding of self, exploring the emptiness and stillness that lies within, we come in contact with the fullness that is love itself. And we come to understand even more that love itself is openness. It is space itself. It's what allows us to be, to explore, to experience. Without this space of love that is you, nothing would be. And this brings deeper truth to the understanding that it's the temporary that holds us back from bliss, from the peace that is innate as we already are. Nothing you seek is outside you. It all lies within. But when we're young, we don't appreciate what we are. We learn how to people from those lost. And even those fortunate enough to be raised by those awakened, we still must come to recognize and value the truth on our own. It's this process of inner exploration that allows us to discover our truth, that we are but one of many expressions of life, of the universe itself. Fall in love with the effortlessness of your being. Reawaken to the stillness and emptiness, to the open and inclusive love that you are. For it is your birthright. You deserve it. If you were not loved enough to come to this recognition, you wouldn't be born. Understand you came here and are alive in this moment, listening to these words because you're ready. So let go of everything you ever knew was real. Let go of all assumptions. Let go of all expectations. Let go of all creations of the imagination. And fall in love with what you always and forever will be. When you hear the next tap of the bell, allow yourself to take a nice deep inhalation. And with your exhale, chant out an Om. And allow this chord of love to be your dedication to yourself. To always bring yourself back to this knowing, peace, of stillness, of emptiness, as this intangible presence of life in which you are. And as we chant out this Om together, we put our prayers, our aspirations out into the world, that our ancestors, our guardian angels, the universe itself will continue to guide us on this journey of healing and unfoldment as we sink deeper into the truth of our being. And that we may open up the hearts of those willing and ready and gently nudge those who are seemingly unaware and uninterested in this deeper truth. So we can all manifest the world we know is possible, the heaven on earth that this is always intended to be. Knowing that as we unfold within our own beingness and awaken to deeper truths of what we fully are, that we uplift all life as life itself. Namaste. I love you so much, and I bow to the divine within you. If you enjoyed the meditation, don't forget to hit the thumbs up. But most importantly, it's the perfect way to really enter in this full moon cycle. Now, if you haven't checked out some of those previous meditations on full moon stuff, I highly implore it because these next 3 days leading up to the full moon are your perfect opportunity to practice everything we just covered in this meditation. To always be mindful, to be present, to be aware, whatever it is you want to call it. It's being here and now without getting caught up in anything else. It's beautiful to really observe the changes that happen with the different energies that we receive during this time. And as the first full moon of this solar new year, there is no better way to get your solar year going. Now, I didn't necessarily have a question that was like emailed in comments, but I did have some stuff that came up in sessions this week thus far that I think is really important to kind of touch on really quick. And that is this: when you deal with someone who wants to change but forgets the importance, the urgency, the necessity of this type of introspection and looking. And it's important just to recognize that people are at where they're at. It's your job as someone who is aware of these things to simply give your input and feedback whenever asked upon. And it's very necessary to avoid your own heartbreak, suffering, letdowns, whatever you want to call it, to not force it. Super important. You're just going to hurt yourself because they're not going to be ready. And ultimately, you're going to kind of cause a lot of internal things within them because they don't want it yet. And these are some of the hardest lessons that we have to learn as people, especially those that are on this conscious path of healing and growth, is to be loving. It's to be objective and see people where they really are, not where you want them to be. And unfortunately, for a lot of beings out there, they're not about this stuff. It takes a lot of courage, it takes a lot of humility, and most importantly, it takes personal responsibility and accountability to really tread this path of truth, of healing, of unfoldment, of ascension, awakening, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't really matter. It's just the natural evolution of our consciousness. It's really a returning home to what we are. It's far more comfortable for people to remain in their delusions. And unless you've had that kind of like clear, shocking moment that's a catalyst, a lot of people choose willingly to stay asleep. But recognize it's because of fear. Because the most loving thing you can do is come to awaken to who's living life. Answer the age-old question of who am I? So give yourself the grace, give yourself the love to really echo the last line of the following prayer with a deeper understanding. As it goes, may the fruit of knowledge offer you a seed, and in that seed may your love, will, and intuition give life and nourishment, for a tree shall grow, and in its shade may you find peace, and offer peace to all who ask. Because if they're not asking, they're not ready. And if they're not courageous enough to really speak up and communicate and ask, even though you may feel that they want to, it's on them. You're not the keeper of any being. You're only responsible for yourself. So with this full moon coming up, remember to protect your energy. I highly recommend it, because as it kind of gets closer and closer to Saturday, especially with how wild the Schumann resonance and all these coronal mass ejections have been these past few months, things are going to start to heat up. So, in order to really remain grounded and rooted into the truth of your own being, it's important you give yourself this active self love and compassionate living to others. So, as always, I love you so much. Thank you for joining and tapping in. Don't forget to check out Sunday. We're going to start the morning off, I guess I would just say, in a super dope fashion because we're getting ready to prepare ourselves for the full moon that night. And whew, if you haven't done one of those preparations in the morning, then you're going to have to show up so you don't miss out on all the cool and amazing lessons you'll learn. But most importantly, so you can tap into the deep truths of our very being. So, again, I love you so much. Have a great night, and I'll see you Sunday. Peace.